Uno, dos, tres, cuatro. You know, it took me 31 years to get here. 31, 31, 31, 31. It's definitely a long time. But maybe it's just divine time, right? So we're going to first and foremost put a crystal clear vision to share with the world a few treasures that I have been collecting in the last 30 years since I started my journey, my pilgrimage across the world. You see, I was born in the land where the Condor rises. Do you guys know where that is? The land where the mighty Condor rises, soars high into the heavens. Have you ever seen the image of a condor? You know, most people I ask, the answer is the same. No, they haven't. And I'm always very excited to be one of the first people to show them, to blow their minds, to open their hearts. Because the condor, the mighty condor, oh my days, oh my Krishna, let me see, what type of condor we're gonna show you, family. Okay, so let's see right here. Let me select a nice one for you. I'm gonna show you the mighty condor. You know, people have no idea of the magic that lives around the world. You see, I didn't know many things of many cultures until I moved there, until I lived there, until I went and experienced the people, the mindset, the hearts, how they speak, how they move, how they manage family. So many cultures. Today, after 13 years, I'm in my 23rd country. 23rd country. And no, I'm not trying to impress you, to be honest. But I'm trying to impress upon you an idea, a seed that it might take flight on your own consciousness. Wow, this is a beautiful one of Condor. Okay, so let's show this one right here. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this mighty bird. What do you notice that is different? What do you see that might activate something in you? Is there something that this bird is whispering to you? Let me ask you a question. How big do you think this mighty being is? How big do you think it is? This size? This size? What about this size? This? Only if you knew. Only if you knew the size of this powerful ancestor right here. Let me show you another one. Look at this. You see the wings, the power that this mighty ancestor exudes. You might know nothing about this mighty ancestor. Or maybe you do. Maybe you do know a lot about it. And if you do, let's rewind a little bit. Let's imagine we didn't know anything about this powerful being. And let's look at some very key pieces of information. Let's bring some of this medicine of the mighty Condor. Okay. All right. So in honor to this mighty ancestor, we're going to be activating some hydrogen into this. It's gonna take 5 minutes for this activation to take place. All right? But meanwhile we wait for it. Let me see. Meanwhile we wait for it, we're gonna have a little tea ceremony with the Condor, with the ancestor. Thank you. So right here we have a beautiful gift from somebody very special in my life, who handed to me this tea ceremony pot. And I have right here the last, wow, it's been quite some time actually. This is the last lotus flower that I have from Costa Rica. It was handed to me in Costa Rica. It's not from Costa Rica, but it came into my life in Costa Rica. It's been already a year and 4 months since I moved to the next chapter of my life, Costa Rica. Shout out to all my family in Costa Rica. What a life, the jungle power. And this is the last lotus flower that I have been carrying with me for all these years, waiting for a special moment, and I think this moment is now. To all the ancestors and ancestors that come from the ancient land of Kemet, Al-Kibulan, and all the other civilizations that until today has scientists doubting if they know anything at all. That's why they stay away from the ancient civilizations, because they know that as they begin to dig, they begin to find some secrets, some revelations that begins to collapse before their eyes. Everything they think they know about life, about the planet that we live, about the civilization, and how much advancement have we actually attained. But before we move from the land of the Condor into the Nile River, we're going to be sharing the power of the Blue Lotus with this mighty Condor. So let's begin here. Let's begin right here. Okay, so the first medicine, the first piece of information the Condor has for us today is the fact that the Condor is the largest raptor alive in this society that is commonly known, at least. Guess how long their wings can span for? Over 3 meters. Just let that sink in. 3 meters. An ancient Andean dragon. I think you should open your arms and realize that is not 3 meters. What you are able to open is way less than how big and mighty the wings of the condor are. So feel the power of the condor, because if you're here listening to this conversation, to this treasure hunting journey with Aladdin Aldemar, it means that the condor has some treasures for you. Okay. Let's take it to the next level. So, according to science, according to science, as they like to claim they know the facts, right? How high do you think a condor can fly? Let me ask again. How high do you think a condor can fly? How high can you fly? How high can you fly without plant medicines, without substances? Because we know how high we can fly with all of that, right? And as well, we know how hard we can crash too. To all the people who know what I'm talking about, yeah, it's one of those things that unless you have lived it, experienced it, died on the hands of a mighty plant, of a mighty fungi, you cannot explain to no one. Even to yourself, it's very hard when you come back, right? Everything begins to fade slowly. But the most important thing is the lesson and the integration of the lesson. Not how high you went, it's how deep you integrated. So the mighty condor can fly of a height of over 5,500 meters. 5,500 meters. That's correct. That's 5.5 kilometers for all those who can see the signs and see the angel numbers. 5-5, baby. The condor is bringing in the 5-5 prophecy. The five fingers, the pentagram, the 5 fingers, the 5 elements, the mystery of number 5, huh? 5.5. So the condor brings a message to us today. Yes, you can fly real high, but always remember to go as deep in integration of the lesson, of the information you received. Go even deeper in your integration than the height you attain in the high. Bah, bah, bah. 5.5 kilometers. Yo, even if I run that, I'm already like, I need some rest. So they go pretty high. They go pretty high. Right, let's see. Okay, so you know how they say that butterflies can live days, right? So now let me ask you this question. How long can a condor live for? Think about that. Feel into it. Don't jump into conclusions. This mighty ancestor of the heavens who can span his wings for over 3 meters. How long do you think they live? Put a number on it. Let's play the game. So I'm gonna give you the answer. In the wild, it is said they can live 50, not months, not days, not hours, 50, 60, 70 years. Do you hear what I just said? It's almost the same amount of time that in average we expect to live, at least with the current belief system and state of consciousness of society. 70 years. So we have already identified the magnitude of their size, how high they can fly, so they get close to the stars, at least closer than you and me. They can see from the perspective of the mountains, so their capacity to see is broader perspective. We have already established that they can live 70 years, the same amount of time that a human expects to live. So we start to see some interesting understandings, understandings, overstandings of the medicine the Condor has to offer to us today. Okay, so let's take it to the next level. This one is my favorite. It really is my favorite. This is about the journey the Condor takes when he flies. This superpower. You know, when I chew on it, more wisdom comes and more wisdom comes. When I chew on this specific superpower, my heart just rises in awe. It's beautiful. It's so beautiful. So I'm gonna just share a piece of information here. So I'm gonna share it as they wrote it. The Andean condor is one of nature's most efficient flyers. Efficiency. They have mastered efficiency of flight. Capable of soaring more than 100 miles without a single wing flap. Wait, hold on. Let me read that again. Capable of soaring more than 100 miles without a single wing flap. Yo, they must have some real loyalty programs with the airlines or something like that, because what? More than 100 miles without a single wing flap. It's almost like saying that you can run for over 50 kilometers without taking one single leg motion. Wait, this man is hovering? Michael Jackson? Who is this man? We need it for the CIA. We need it. Now we're talking about the Condor. So basically what happens with the Condor is that they make use of the forces of nature. They attune themselves to wind currents that are already in motion. The Mother Earth is breathing through. And the Condor is in such a precise alignment with nature, with the breath of Mother Earth, that is able to harvest the power of these wind currents. They call them the warm wind currents. And it attunes itself and it positions its wings in the perfect angle. In the perfect angle of light, angle of geometry, angle of motion, the perfect pose, the perfect yoga pose. And then they hold it and they trust that these currents know the way, have the power, and in alignment with the currents of the earth, with the breath. This powerful bird can fly for a very long time without wasting energy. We need to put 2 for the wings of the Condor, because it takes 2 to balance the 3. That is you. The negative, the positive, the masculine, the feminine, and the neutral, the 0 point stillness, baby. So imagine that. The Condor is already giving to you the gift to see clearly. This is no fantasy. Go and research on your own. It's reminding you what happens when you align yourself with the currents of the earth, not against earth, with earth, moving towards your destiny, not the destiny that society told you that you were supposed to follow, not the cubicle, not the penguin uniform, none of that. Your soul's destiny, purpose, desire, heart's song, call it whatever you want, but that inner compass in alignment with the forces of nature. You will waste no energy and you will get there. You will get there. Oh, yes, you would. Yes, you will. Before I continue, let me just take a breath because I feel like Condor might be knocking on my door, my heart's door, wanting to rise, wanting to become one with the message, with the keys, with the gift. These are the treasures that we're here collecting together. Treasures that not only blow your mind and open your jaw. Oh my God, I never knew nature was so divine. No, I'm talking about the treasures you can take and apply into your life. I know you don't have wings, or do you? That's a very important question to ask yourself. Do you have wings or you don't? Because if you believe you don't have wings, you will never take flight. No, you will never take flight. Remember, it took me 31 years to arrive here, and I've been flying for a long time, and the last highest flight, even though I flew for so long across so many life stories, messages, cultures, memories, that one jump was so high I almost forgot I had the wings. I almost forgot I've been training the wings for so long. I think I'm ready to put the next one. Yes, sometimes we forget what we know, how far we have come. Sometimes we forget our strength, our courage, the resilience, the stories that you can look back and think, how did I made it out of that? I don't know, but I did. But you did. So I know you can remember many stories about yourself that would allow you to reclaim your wings, your blazing, powerful wings. So no matter what is in front of you, you can take that flight, and you can trust in the current, this divine force that is fighting for us, fighting for healing, fighting for our beauty, giving us flowers, giving us pollinators to beautify the garden of life that has been gifted to us. But yes, we have forgotten, right? But it's okay, because that doesn't mean you cannot remember. Recordar, to remember in español. El recordar, to remember, record. The chord of your memories are always there waiting for you to plug back and to give you that strength, to give you the capacity to acknowledge how high you can soar. So that's what we're here for. These treasures have only one objective. It's to remember your soul's forgotten song. the divine power, the divine purpose that you chose to pursue. So for a long time, there has been this battle of awakening and going to sleep, remembering and forgetting, jumping and forgetting you have wings. But when the time was summoning your wings, you reclaim them. To remember that we can reclaim what we have forgotten. We have two left, two blue lotus petals, two treasures left. The Condor has two more treasures to give to us. So let me see what is the next treasure of this journey. This one is beautiful. This one is unexpected, actually. This treasure, this medicine is unexpected. It might be gross for some if you have not cleansed your lens. So you know that condors are a type of vulture, meaning they eat from dead flesh, things that are in decay. Yes, I know it sounds gross at the beginning if you're blind, but let's dig deeper. Let's dig deeper on the medicine of the beings who can eat decomposing matter and transmute it into nutrients that allows them to soar high, 5.555. Move with the currents of nature without wasting energy. They have the capacity to process toxins that for most humans, for most beings, will be the last meal or the last drink or the last breath. So imagine having the capacity to process deadly toxins, that deadly energy that is around you, that is trying to eat from the flesh of those who have forgotten their soul's song. And as they're decaying because they're not in a position of alignment, they're decaying. All these toxins are in your environment, at your workplace. This one most people like it, your family. But hey, we all have had toxins. It's all about the cleansing process that you have gone through, the healing journey, the shadow work. The things that most people are running away from. Keeping busy because I don't want to feel the pain that lives inside of me, that lives inside of all of us. So the Condor comes today to remind you, wake up, wake up, wake up. You have the capacity to process toxins that to many will keep them enslaved, will keep them traumatized, will keep them in bondage, will keep them disempowered, will keep them in a loop, in a Ferris wheel that they can't seem to get out because they haven't remembered, they haven't reclaimed, or they haven't activated the memory within them that all toxins can be processed if you transmute, alchemize, refine with love, with your mind, with your emotions, with journaling, with singing, with dancing, with crying. There are many processes to process the toxins. The most important thing is to reclaim the capacity to recognize this is a toxic world we live in today. But there are those like us, like you, that are here receiving the messages from the Condor to remember that you can too begin to process these toxins that this society is living, emanating, radiating at all time, and refine it so you can soar as high as your destiny was meant to take you. Because this is no competition. Come on. Why do you want to compete for the height when you haven't even realized that the depth is the new height? The depth of your wisdom through your body, through your example, when nobody's watching, when the doors are closed and it's only you and your family, that you feel so comfortable to show your true colors when you take the mask off because you're tired. And then that aspect of you who's showing up is determining the height, the depth of your mastery. It's not when you're performing for others. It's not when you know the camera is rolling. So yes, the Condor comes today with the reminder that you too can be a source of refinement, of toxins, to use those moments when you see somebody who is an angry person, a bitter person, a jealous person. Everything you see thrown at you or thrown at others, that level of toxicity can be a source of inspiration for you to make the choice to break the loop, to break the cycle, to take the role of the one who sees the shit, who sees what is rotting and people are keeping it in the closet, but you can smell it. That can be the source of inspiration to be the one to show the way with the example of your life, especially when nobody's watching. The Condor is a master alchemist of the toxic energies, negative energies, if you want to call it. All energies of decay, they alchemize into nutrients, they break it down, and they purify the earth. So you too, alchemist, become the Condor of your life. Because remember, you can receive the projection, receive the energy thrown at you, and you have a few choices. If you're conscious, if you are aware, you can take that energy, take possession of it, and become the thing that is being thrown at you, and throw it back with more force, with more voice, with wider hands gesture, with more violence. And you can become part of the loop that keeps nurturing the wheel of toxicity, that's fine too. We all done it at some point, right? We all done it. It's nothing to be ashamed of. But this is about recognizing. This is about recognizing that there are other choices available that very few take. The choice to take that energy, to feel the pain or feel how off is to be that for others, and to just clutch your root in that moment. Close the bowels and choose a different way. Choose to take that toxicity and, like the Condor, alchemize it, transform it. Be the one who reacted in a different way, who responded, who show by example, who maybe planted a seed in somebody who has only seen reactivity from their aggressivity. But this time, there you are, the only one in your community, the only one in your family, the only one in your house, the only one in your life maybe, who's making a choice to activate the Condor within. Because remember, alchemy was what birthed chemistry. And alchemy came from studying, learning, witnessing nature. That's right, nature. It's all about having the capacity to learn from nature. Integrate the power of nature, the power of the teachings of nature. Ingest it. Become it. Don't just speak it. Don't just learn about it. How much have you not already learned that you are not implementing today? And I think that that's what we need to honor as the last petal. And is the treasure of integration. To decide today to put to use the wisdom, the treasures, the awarenesses, the information that you have learned, that you trust, that you feel that is going to support, aid your journey, to improve, to refine, to master your energy, especially when nobody's watching, especially when the doors are closed. That's where you need to make sure you're utilizing as the scale of the level, the height that you have reached, the depth. So remember, depth is the new height. Integration. And just so you know, this conversation I'm having with myself, this video I'm making for myself, you're gonna see it because maybe somebody wants to hear what the Condor has to say. I do. So I'm reminding myself, I am reclaiming the keys, the treasures that this mighty ancestor of the heavens, from the land where I choose to be born in this lifetime. You know, the Andean Mountains, located in South America. It's a very mysterious place. But we have been attacked. The culture of the ancestors, the culture of the ancient civilizations, the culture that created monuments that tourists from around the world wants to go and take a picture on. That was the land that I came from in this lifetime. And the condor, I have only seen once in my lifetime a condor, you see. Let me tell you the story before we activate these sacred waters, this sacred tea, and we celebrate the reclamation of the condor treasures, condor power, condor beauty. So when I was young, I'm still young, right? I'm forever young. I have looked the same since I'm 25. And that's when I devoted myself to my soul's calling. It was like time stopped. But anyway, when I was younger, every single year, my family used to take me and my cousins, who are like my brother and sister, to one of our family members' farm. It's a cacao farm. Look at that, cacao in my life since I was very young. And it's a farm that has no borders with other farms. And is one of those places that is in the hills, in the mountains. And when you reach the house where we stayed at, you can just see endless hills of mountains that me and my cousins were given the trust, the empowerment to go and explore. This is since I was 4 years old. Exploring mountains for hours, climbing trees, mango trees, guayaba trees, picking the most beautiful. This is one of the beautiful games we had. We used to go and find the most beautiful, what you call guayabas. And usually they were in the most random high levels of the tree, okay? So we used to go, and my cousin, who was a fearless, she knew no fear. And she's the one who started pushing me to embrace the fear. Because I had it, she didn't. But I had to embrace it. I was not gonna be left behind, especially because the next one was younger than me. So I had to lead the way for him. And we used to select these guavas and climb these crazy tall trees and then going for the treasure, grabbing it with our bare hands. I remember the color used to be like creamy pink. That's when you knew, oh, this is the treasure ready to be experienced. So we used to go and climb the trees, eat the guavas, and usually they had worms inside, and that was okay because it's nature, not like today, right? The supermarket has convinced you that what comes from nature has no dirt, has no bugs, has no, like, come on, that ain't nature. That is the fake produce, the copycat, the duplicate, the counterfeit of nature to maximize profits but minimize health. That's what I think, though. So these guavas were a major treasure for us, and once you had that guava, you went to the wildest of the climbs, and then we're there at the top of the tree. You eat that. That was a pinnacle of life that when we had to go back to the city, we couldn't get anywhere. Not in candies, not in nothing. That was one of the heights of our lives. We used to eat too. We used to eat the cacao. We used to eat it raw, so we used to go and grab them. Most beautiful ones usually were like yellow, big, bright, and then we crack them in half. And then you have these. Have you seen a cacao? How the fruit comes? So it's basically like layers of seed stack upon each other, and they have this white flesh, the fascia of the cacao, and that's what you eat. At least that's what we ate. We used to go and eat it raw, and then you have the seeds, and you just throw in the seeds, coming back into nature and growing and growing endlessly, like nature intended. That's how much abundance is available for us at all time. Mother Earth made sure there was not a scarcity, but man manufactures scarcity, because that's how they could make the money. Their money god, right? Their money god. All right, yes. Yeah, so in this farm, our parents trusted the divine, I would say, because we used to go to places we didn't even know how we got in there, and somehow we knew how to come back. And one day I was in this hill that we had to cross this barrier that they had for the bulls. This was the area where they had the bulls and the cows. And I remember in this hill it was like a slope like this, and then it goes down. One day I'm a little bit far from my cousins who are in the other side. I decided to cross that, and I'm walking. Now today I know that was intuition guiding me. So I'm walking, and I reach this end of the hill, and oh my Krishna, I saw this gigantic bird standing maybe 10 meters away from me. I think the young Condor just woke up. Maybe he can hear the message of the Condor calling him to participate in the journey. So let me finish the story. 10 meters max. I see these gigantic, what I deem at that time, because maybe I was 4 to 6 years old. I can't recall exactly my age at that time, but it was between those ages. And this being, mighty being, really looked like a dragon at that time. I was shook, frozen. I had nothing to say, nowhere to run. It almost felt like if I began running, he was gonna catch me. But truth be told, it was such a gentle encounter. He just gazed at me, and then he began walking a little bit back, and he took flight. That's the only time I ever seen a condor in the wild, face to face. And today I'm sharing this story for the first time with the world, because that condor is the messenger of this transmission today. You see, when I left everything I have known, and I have a very interesting background family, very different from most people, very spiritual family, mother and father especially, mainly actually. Yeah, they were pretty high level stuff, but different worlds of spirituality. My mother is a psychologist. She works with the subconscious mind. She works with modalities to heal the trauma of people, and she's the one who gave me that understanding of the brain, of the psychology since very young. And my father, mi padre, he was the mystic, and I never shared with him the story of the condor. But I know he's here with us listening. So yes, Dad, I had a condor visitation in La Finca of my uncle. And it never made sense to me why this happened to me until I began reclaiming my soul's forgotten song. And the condor has been a very important activation point, origin point. Has been a very important memory that was gonna play out later. Later is today. The medicine of Mother Nature, the elementals, the celestials, they're very interconnected. And these are the treasures that you did not know that you've been looking for. I can tell you now, I am, and talking to myself, you have, you are, and every step takes you deeper and deeper and deeper. And there it is, my young condor with my beloved flying by as I share this beautiful memory from the heart. I love you. I love them so much. And they are the source of inspiration to keep talking to myself, Aladdin Aldemar, to keep sharing with yourself, to remind myself to reclaim the hidden medicine, the hidden treasures, the hidden technology that has been all around us. But this game, this trick of society made sure that we undervalued until now. So I have some hot water here ready for us, ready for the flight, ready for us to take flight together And we're gonna share this tea to close up this treasure hunt with the Condor, with the Andean ancestor. We're gonna share a beautiful song that I created from my heart. So this is a song that I forged in inspiration of my mother. So we're going to share this tea together with a song, and this song has been forged with the medicine, the treasures that my father and mother, one of the many treasures, gifted me. So we're gonna share this song, we're gonna share the moment, and my invitation is take flight, reclaim your wings so you can take flight. Take flight. So the name of this song is Gran Ascender. Right, so okay, here we are. We have the music ready for us. We have the heart ready. So we share together this beautiful moment. Thank you for the other soulful beings who have chosen to share this journey of remembrance. These are stories of my life, experiences that I deem as treasures. So may these treasures find a way to plant seeds of beauty, of remembrance, of healing, of joy, of empowerment, and hopefully, well, actually, all the stories, all the journeys are treasures for those who have the eyes to see, to feel, to embody. So Ashe, thank you, we say to all the ones who have been part of our life, who left memories, lessons, good or bad, for us to draw as inspiration, to make the choice to take flight and to rise, to allow our song's forgotten song to be felt by ourselves first and foremost, so we can fly as high as we need to. And here we go. In honor to mi padre, mi madre, gracias por todas las lecciones, por el entrenamiento, por el amor, por las memorias, por lo lindo y lo menos lindo, todos los colores, all the colors, mom and dad, that you offer me in this experience. I honor them all, and I transmute them all into a greater me, into a greater, more align me for myself and those who come in contact with my life. Gracias, Madre. Gracias, Padre. Gracias, Condor. El Condor está aquí. Condor is here with us. Sol dice gran ascender, abre tus ojitos. Aquí vamos. Gracias, Condor, por ayudarme a recordar la medicina de las tierras donde empezó este viaje.
El sol dice gran ascender, abre tus ojitos. El sol dice gran ascender, abre tus ojitos. Los pájaros le cantan tu nombre al cielo. Los pájaros le cantan tu nombre al cielo. Con los pies en la tierra y la mirada al cielo. Con los pies en la tierra y la mirada al cielo. Raíces en mí, ojos en las estrellas. Raíces en mí, ojos en las estrellas. Los árboles dicen, mis raíces son tuyas. Los árboles dicen, mis raíces son tuyas. El río me dice, yo sé hacia dónde voy. El río me dice, yo sé hacia dónde voy. Con los pies en la tierra y la mirada al cielo. Con somos la misma luz. Llegaste a través de mí. El león dice levántate, lleva la llama. El león dice levántate, lleva la llama. El águila dice vuela, el cielo te llama. El águila dice vuela, el cielo te llama. Con los pies en la tierra y la mirada al cielo.
Con los pies en la tierra.
Y la mirada al cielo. Raíces en hiel, ojos en las estrellas. Raíces en hiel, ojos en las estrellas. Sigue evolucionando pequeño, sigue recordando, sigue evolucionando pequeño, sigue recordando.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for remembering. Thank you for reclaiming your wings. A lot of toxicity in this world waiting for you to awaken the condor within. To remember that toxicity can be refined, transformed. You can become a cleansing force. Show the way, family. Show the way when nobody's watching. Behind doors, that's the depth of your height. Feel it like that, move like that, and trust me, you're the only one who needs to keep in check of yourself. So I said thank you. Thank you for waiting for 31 years to speak to yourself, Aladdin. Aladdin Aldemar. The phoenix Condor rises. I miss you, Dad. Your spirit form is so beautiful and so powerful, but yo, I love you. Gracias, Maestro Condor, for the visit. The memories here living through. So, for those who could feel the condor rising within, you can find the music alchemy on most platforms: Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube Music. Aladdin Aldemar. Every song that I forge has many tears, smiles. There are treasures that I gather, that I condense into song form, stories and messages to reclaim the inner master who shows the way when nobody's watching. This is the journey. For those who want to take the journey, come along. You can visit my website, Aladdin with double D, Aldemar.com, and that will be a doorway into the cave of wonders. If you want a magic carpet ride with Aladdin Aldemar, you know where to go. You know how to find the journeys that are waiting for the souls who are ready to remember their forgotten songs. We say thank you. Thank you to the elementals, the basics form. Thank you to the elementals, the basic forms of life that seem so simple but are so powerful. Water, fire, earth, and breath. The ether is here with us at all time. So for those who know how to access energy from beyond, congratulations. And for those who are on the journey, congratulations, because the journey is really the beauty of it, right? So we say, gracias agua por ayudarme a recordar la canción de mi ser en toda su totalidad. So you see, in the ancient technologies, I like to call ancient spiritual technologies, in the way of the tea, that is a science, an art that is fascinating, deep, powerful. I was given this beautiful key of the way of tea that I wanna leave you with. The reason they drink the tea on cups that they must stay with their hands is because they understood that if the cup is too hot to grab with your hands, it's too hot to drink. Can you see the beauty on that principle? There was a connection between the action, the intention, the ingestion, but they align all forces that supported true health. It made sense. Okay, I have completed the mission. The first flight of this journey has completed. So thank you, Aladdin Aldemar, for sharing with myself this moment, and for those who find it, I hope you enjoy. Ashe.